It was more professional. What was my first femdom
Like
experience?
maybe like a scene that you did, like in porn. They're like, we want you to have the more dominant role this time.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I was just kind of like thrown into it. I don't know if Men Are Slaves was my like first. I mean, it close
He's
to.
nodding his head over there.
Yeah, it's pretty close to that, like, because it was one of those things where my agent was like, hey, so there's this, like, shoot, and, like, they kind of explain it, and, like, but their explanation was really bad.
Typical.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And they, like I forget like what it was, but they were like, yeah, there's gonna be. They didn't even call it corporal. Like my brain is putting corporal in that memory, but basically like
Because you know.
yeah, like
Yeah.
but you're going to be like they didn't even say impact play. I can't even remember what the fuck words they told me, and I
Wonder
was
what
just
they
like.
use to like describe
I
it.
can't remember. So I had the thought of like, well, don't hate it until you try it. And I was like, fuck around and find out. And I just loved it.
Oh, so you
So,
lit up.
oh yeah.
So you tried it, you lit up. You remember that experience? And
Yeah, I still have that experience. That's the thing that I love about like there's just all kink
yeah.
because like when you can take somebody, it's not like sex is so fucking easy. But like when you have somebody that they're into something a little bit peculiar and like they're into it and you can take them through that journey, there's nothing more intoxicating than that.
Right? It's a high that you get on.
Yeah, and like you can
Absolutely.
watch them. So like I would say perhaps like from what my friends say that I would be more service top because I like doing things that like put people into their space. But I
Yes.
love fucking with it. Like I'm like
I would say I'm the same. I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I offer a variety of different things. And it's like, so, but tell me which one you fit into.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that I worm my way right into your brain and I just have full control.
Right. And then also
Yes.
tell me the things that you're not so into, but they won't break you so that I
Exactly.
can make you work for your reward.
Yeah, and not like knowing like, okay, that's your boundary though, because you know you don't want to take them out of
Yeah.
it though either. So
No,
you
because then it
know.
ruins the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So go on, tell me more about that first experience.
Oh God.
Was it like you first like spanked somebody or like used a paddle and like you were inflicting pain or something and you got to see like, oh, but they like it.
God. I love the shot collar.
Everybody loves the shot collar.
It brings
I
me
love
so
it.
much joy. I think the thing that like really struck me, like whipping is fun, flogging's amazing. I love all of it, but when they like having heels dug into them and like scraping, like it just fascinates me. Like when people like want to take it to that next level of like they want to prove themselves to you. It's I like that was like one of those moments of like holy shit. I'm like this is fun. I did do sounding. That freaks me out a little bit, and in a good way.
Sounding so in your own personal session.
Yeah, so I had a submissive friend of mine. I was at like a play party. I forget where the hell it was in this country, but they introduced me to sounding because they had a cage that had like a
The urethral
yeah
like hole to be able to do it at the same time.
but it had fucking spikes in it. And I was just like, you sick fuck. I love it. So the whole time I was trying to like I was getting them to chub throughout the evening. And then there was the point where they begged me to take it off because I was being an asshole. And so then like they were like, that was a lot of fun. I want to take you down through the journey of sounding, and did a double dom session with somebody, and she showed me it, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And
yeah, sounding could be really intense. It
and
can
then
be
I
really
moved-
dangerous if people don't know what they're doing, but doing it correctly.
scares me. Like
yeah.
I've heard terrible stories. That's where I'm like, I am going to make sure I go through the processes correctly.
Yes.
And right as I was about to like dive deep into it all, I escaped LA and went and like lived a normal ass life for a little bit in fucking wine country.
Okay, so wait, I want to talk. So you lived the lifestyle as a dom for a little bit. So you were doing it side by side with porn,
Yeah.
and then took a break from both for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the adult industry was a huge I guess, conduit for me to explore myself, because like I had lived, like I never realized how like incredibly conservative my family was until I got out of that like nuclear setting,
Yeah.
and like where I didn't even fucking know that David Bowie had a vampire movie. Like how the fuck do you not know
Wait.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that because like there were certain figures in this world that my family deemed as terrible
Could
people.
not. Okay.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
mean, was it? I still haven't seen the one show was with Peg Bundy. What is that? Is that like what is that one called? Married with Children. Yeah.
Oh,
So
just
like
that one? I was like, I was
so
waiting for something more
yeah,
like
yeah,
intense. Married with
no,
Children
yeah.
was
So because
great.
she was, yeah. So I've still not seen it, but I realized that where my family like was like, oh well, we dislike this woman, and it's because she was like comfortable with herself, and
Christina Applegate or the
the
mother?
mother,
The mother.
the
Okay,
mother, and
okay.
I'm like, and I just like I don't know where those judgments came from, and I was just like, okay, like I just kind of went with it and wasn't interested in exploring that.
Such a badass woman. But yes.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
the thing. So my family hated those types of people. So I was not around it. So when I escaped them, it was like a free for all.
Yeah. You
And
got to dive
oh
in.
my god, and I dove the fuck in. I tried so hard to do like I was supposed to, and I was like dying inside. So when I came to the industry, it was amazing. But then I was like, okay, hit pause. I'm getting really aggressive and like got to find myself and like know who I am versus the performer.
Yeah, because it's like really it's overwhelming and exciting when you get into it and you kind of don't really know what to cling on to yet because you haven't found your own
Yeah.
way. So then you take a break and you're like, okay, wait, but like what was really speaking to me?
Yeah.
And then jump back in. Is that
Yeah.
kind of what you did with it?
Kind of. I reverted back to like just being super comfy and vanilla. And like then I started getting stir crazy again. I was like, all right, I gotta find a fucking balance. Like, so when I came back, it was like, it was nice to have like my head on my shoulders, knowing like the things that I am into, the things I still want to explore. But also, like, you know, it's that is a part of me and like
Yeah.
not to run away from that.
Yeah, yeah. Because we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about that a little bit when you were here last time, a
Mm-hmm.
year ago. You're like, yeah, I think I want to get more involved in the femdom side
Yeah.
again. And I saw you just building it over this last year.
Yeah.
So is it come back to not like normal place, but just a regular pace of like where it's part of your lifestyle now?
Close. I have been in kind of like a hermitage. Like I am such an introvert, and so there are certain times where it's like if I'm just around a lot of people and there's a lot of chaos, I'm like, it's cool. I'm gonna go hide from people.
Yeah.
And now I think I have the bandwidth to actually like go and explore and be around people. I've had a couple of fun play parties where I've come across people that were inherently kinky, and that was a nice. They were like nice, intimate like settings.
Okay.
So it worked super well. So it's like trying to hone in that exploration because I'm really fucking picky.
Which parts of it do you love the most then? Like what is it that's drawing you in and like what you want to like play with the most? Is it more lifestyle or more like session?
I like both.
Okay.
I think that there's something about being a day maker, is what I call it. Like, you know, somebody has a fantasy that you get to fulfill.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about that that is very enriching to me as a provider, for lack of better words. But like it's enriching to me, but like I also know that like when you like need this like particular thing, this particular catharsis, that like when you like have access to that, like what that can do for you in your everyday life. So sessioning is great, and like also like I think lifestyle is going to be the new exploration for me because it's
It's so fun.
like the more vanilla people that I'm around, the more I just kind of want to like stab my eyes out. Like it's just like even if you're only like specifically kinky about something, like
It can-
one thing, like I
Yeah.
really love heels, then that's cool. You love heels. That's a fucking kink.
Yeah.
And like then you know, like at least you have a thing that you like. When people are just like, I like missionary sex, I'm like, ugh. And like it tells me that you're a mindless human being. Like if you're in touch with yourself, you have some type of fetish.
Because there's so much to explore.
Yes.
There's so much
And the
to
things that
explore.
electrify your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like what it just shows that you're comfortable and confident with yourself to be able to talk to other people about it and
Yeah.
explore it
Mm-hmm.
and to have that level of trust though too. And I think that's
Yes.
what's hard is
That's
that
a huge thing. That's why
yes.
I would say like I'm a D, like baby S, capital D, little s, like switch, because it takes the right person for me to be okay with them topping me, because I've
Yes.
just seen some really bad behavior where I'm like, consent is the only way you should
It's the
operate.
golden rule. It's the only way that any of us should be operating, whether
Right.
it's, within kink or vanilla, right? I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
just
But
consent and
also
trust
there's
is
like the
huge.
additional, like, if you're the doer, like you have to also be aware of the shit that you're doing. And
Yes.
like even if somebody is consenting to it, like I've seen things you
Can't,
shouldn't.
oh, you should.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, I've seen things where I'm like, okay, that's fucked up.
You're like, I get it. He wanted it. And so
Mm-hmm.
you said okay to it. But is there a line being crossed here? Is everybody
Right.
well educated in the play that's even taking place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the acronyms again? There are like three different ones for like risk awareness. I always mess them up.
There, there's quite a few out there, and I don't know
Yeah.
if you've been noticing on Twitter too, because they've been putting out these funny little banners of like new ways to talk about kink, and it's like
Oh, I
the
haven't seen this.
no,
I've been
we've just been
so
joking around about it left and
I've
right.
been
'Cause it's
hiding in
so
my little hermit hole. I
I'm gonna have to send it to you
Yeah,
just
I
because
would love it.
it's so funny. People are like, oh, um, like one of them was like caning, and instead of caning, it's like let's not hit people with sticks or something like
Not let's
that.
not hit
Let's
people with
not
stick.
hit people with sticks, and they're like, let's make it more vanilla. So we're all joking around about like these acronyms, and then like breaking it down to a more
Oh my god, I need to
vanilla
see
aspect.
this.
No,
I
I
need
was
to
send
see
it too.
this.
Yeah, but it's so funny. No, but like safe, saying consensual.
Hmm.
Making sure that yeah, people are really staying within the professional
I'm
realms.
stealing your comfort mode.
Absolutely. Cute little French tip too, by the way.
Yes. My monkey toes.
Well, with play though too, like is there a specific play though that you enjoy more? Like if it is something more of like a heavy bondage